Disrespectful for Crawford to call you out at 68, say that he can beat you at this weight?
No, you know, everybody wants to fight with me, so it's fine.
That being a biggest fight possible in boxing, is that something you'd actually be interested in?
You know, it's crazy when you asking about that, because you say, your matchup is coming out of the other weight classes, and that's it, and he's welterweight, so don't make sense. But if the fight made sense, why not?
A lot of people have him at #1 pound for pound. You think that's fair to you?
You know, it's a few people there who deserve to be the #1 pound for pound, and it's fine.
Canelo Alvarez has reacted to Terence Crawford's recent training footage, which shows the welterweight champion intensifying his regimen in preparation for a potential showdown. Crawford, known for his technical prowess, is focusing on strength and conditioning with weightlifting and resistance exercises to build power and endurance. He's also refining his punching techniques with heavy bag sessions to enhance his speed and precision.
Terence Crawford is a great fighter, he's a good fighter, but you know, like I say, he's weight classes for a reason.
You know, it's business, it's the office. I enjoy it because this is what I love to do.
Now, skill-wise, I think Crawford's a better skilled fighter.
I understand, you know, Canelo is bigger than me and whatnot, but I'm up for the challenge.
The buzz surrounding this potential fight has been growing, especially with Saudi boxing promoter Turki Al-Sheikh reportedly offering major financial incentives to make it happen. According to reports, both fighters met privately in London last week to discuss terms, and a potential bout is targeted for September 2025 during Mexico's Independence Day weekend in Las Vegas. The potential fight between Canelo and Crawford has garnered widespread attention.
Obviously, you can't look forward past Saturday, but do you feel like a fight like Terence Crawford? I see he wants to fight. He's made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
You know, everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better, no? Terence Crawford is a great fighter, he's a good fighter, but you know, like I say, he's weight classes for a reason. You know, I'm focused 100% on Berlanga, and then you never know what happened.
Yeah,
next.
yeah, for sure.
But there are significant challenges that need to be addressed. One major issue is the weight difference. Crawford would need to gain 14 pounds to match Canelo's 168-pound super middleweight class, while Crawford has proven himself as one of the best pound-for-pound fighters at 147 and 154 pounds. Canelo's size, strength, and power are key factors that could give him a significant advantage in a fight at 168 pounds.
Always is a chance there, right? We'll see, but always is a chance there, and we're here to make the best deals, and always a chance.
And I do have to ask you about Dimitri Bivol, because that's a rematch you've always talked about wanting. How do you see the rematch going with Bivol and Beterbiev?
I think it's going to be another good fight. It's going to be another good fight. Both fighters are good fighters, so I think both have a chance to win. Like the first one was a really good fight.
So whatever is next, we look forward to it, my friend. Thank you so much and have a great evening.
Are you tired of people asking you about Terence yet?
No, look, there's I always say, I respect Terence Crawford. He's a very talented fighter, but he just win one big fight. If you see his record, he just beat one good fighter like Errol Spence is.
Yes.
But other than that, I don't think he's beating other great fighter like Spence. He did a really good job with Spence. He did like almost look very easy. But I knew Terence Crawford is a great fighter. But you know, you never know in boxing. We'll see.
Canelo, who has steadily moved up in weight throughout his career, has expressed reservations about the matchup, emphasizing that weight classes exist for a reason and that Crawford's natural weight is much lower than his. Canelo has also openly critiqued Crawford's record, claiming that the Nebraska native's career lacks truly elite victories. Crawford is a great fighter, but if you look at his record, he's only beaten one truly great fighter, Errol Spence, Canelo stated. This comment sparked a response from Crawford, who fired back on social media challenging Canelo's assessment.
Saul, my carnal, how are you? Quick question. I know, as we walk, Canelo, how important is it that you've spoke with Turki Al-Sheikh?
Say again, please.
How important for you is it that you've spoke to Turki Al-Sheikh, and what did you speak about?
Look, I like to work with everybody. You know, I'm a free agent, and I like to work with everybody. And you know, I like to have the doors open.
Are we going to see Canelo Crawford next?
We'll see. It's a possibility there always. No, we'll see what happens.
Have you spoke with Turki about that show?
Yeah,
about Canelo?
We know each other. We don't talk that much for make a deal and anything, but you know, we now know each other, and we'll see what happens.
Last one. I know you're pushed for time. Benavidez Morel, who wins?
It's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be a good fight. 50-50 fight.
Canelo, thank you for that.
Despite these disagreements, Canelo has acknowledged Crawford's talent, noting that the fight is only a possibility if the business terms are right. While Canelo has hesitated in the past, dismissing a fight with a smaller opponent as not significant enough for his legacy, he is now open to the possibility, especially given the enormous financial rewards.
Let's be honest, when Crawford fought Madrimov, he had his hands full, especially early in the fight. Now, I give props to Crawford because Crawford is the type of fighter where he does have like a chip on his shoulder and a willingness to win. He has drive, and if you tell him step it up, the rounds are too close, you're going to get a dedicated Crawford. So he is a true fighter, a true champion, all that. The biggest gripe I have with the fight is the weight. You guys could try to spin it and say I hate this guy or that guy. I don't really care. What do I look like being a true alpha and being bothered by what people say? I don't care. I'm telling you my opinion. And my opinion is not going to change because I know you guys can't change it. I've said the same thing, and not one time have I heard one of the Bud Buddies offer a solution to the arguments that I've brought up. Crawford is good, but so is Canelo. If they were naturally the same size, which they're not, Crawford is probably maybe a little bit taller, but I'm talking about mass.
Guys, we know the fighters know the intel before the news gets released to the public. King Ryan was asked about Canelo Crawford. He not only says he can't believe they got that fight done, meaning that that's a done deal. We obviously knew that, but he also gives you who he thinks wins that fight, Canelo or Crawford. Do you agree with Ryan Garcia?
Right.
What about Canelo and Crawford? What do you think?
That's going to be a great fight, too. I can't believe they made that happen. Turkey's been making a lot of great fights happen. You can't really hate on it. But I'm excited for that. I know Canelo is so big, so strong, and I think he'll be just too big. I mean, weight classes matter for a reason.
Last question, Ali.
Experts in the boxing world have mixed opinions on the potential fight. Ryan Garcia, for example, believes that Canelo's size and power would be too much for Crawford, even though Crawford is technically superior. Meanwhile, boxing analysts like Stephen A. Smith have expressed doubts about whether Crawford can withstand Canelo's relentless pressure and powerful punches.
In the May, I've read somewhere that Canelo has shortlisted Crawford for the May fight, his fight in May. Dan, what's happening?
Yeah, listen, I think it's just a fluid situation. I don't think there's anything definitive one way or the other at this point. I mean, it's not a secret that that's a fight that's been discussed by a lot of us and by a lot of people in the sport for quite a while. Certainly, it's a fight that Turki Al-Sheikh from Saudi Arabia has shown a lot of interest in. And of course, if it's going to get made, someone's going to have to put up a lot of guaranteed money. And he's probably the person that's going to do it. He's obviously been working closely with Terence Crawford. He was involved with the Terence Crawford's last fight that took place in August when he fought Israel Madrimov. It's obviously a fight that Terence Crawford has been very vocal about wanting. Now, Canelo hasn't ever said he wanted the fight, kind of downplayed it to a certain degree. But it wasn't that long ago. I don't know, maybe a couple of months ago, he was doing an appearance and he was asked about it and he didn't close the door on it. In the past, he sort of like closed the door on it and was like, I'm not interested. He's like, listen, I'll talk to anybody and listen to what they have to say about the deal, any kind of deal. So in my mind, that sort of at least cracked open the door to have the conversation. Like he wasn't just saying, forget it in terms of working with Turkey or anybody else. So I think that Canelo is a smart person in terms of his boxing, but also in terms of his business. And when he looks around at the landscape and he wants to make a huge amount of money, like all top fighters or any fighter for that matter, and he looks and sees who can I fight where I can make the biggest score, in a big time.
Crawford's lack of experience against a physically imposing fighter like Canelo raises concerns as some wonder if Crawford could hurt Canelo or avoid being overwhelmed by his power. Regardless, the business side of the fight is undeniable, with reports suggesting that the financial stakes are high, especially with major backers like Al Sheikh eager to make the fight happen. If finalized, the Canelo versus Crawford showdown could become one of the most significant events in boxing history, drawing massive attention worldwide.
Speaking of Canelo, it looks very possible he'll fight Crawford in May. What would you think of that matchup, Canelo and Crawford?
You know what? I think my initial reaction would be to say that I think that Crawford would be the superior boxer, as great as Canelo is, as seasoned as he is, with 65 fights, if I recall, on his record. He's phenomenal. But Crawford is something special. I think that he's a better pure boxer. I think boxing-wise, he's going to give Canelo fits. My concern is that he won't hurt Canelo. And if he doesn't hurt Canelo and can't hurt Canelo, then Canelo keeps coming. Similar to how he stalked Charlo, how he stalked, once he had Plant hurt, he chased after him. Canelo is a very powerful individual who can get exposed by a boxer because every shot he throws, he's trying to make it a power shot. But to me, can Crawford hurt him? I would pick Crawford to win if he can box and stay away. I don't believe he can hurt Canelo. And if Canelo catches him, it could be trouble. But I would still say it would be a very interesting fight. I just believe that Crawford hasn't been in the ring with anybody this powerful. And I'm wondering whether he could stay away. Crawford is the superior boxer.